we have a really messed up understanding of what the good news of Jesus is. Most of us have boiled it down to believing a certain theology or living out a certain do's and don'ts. And so we're like, well, I just don't want to push my theology on you, and I don't want to just push these do's and don'ts on you. So we get kind of skittish because we're like, if that's all it's about, I don't know if that's worth it. But when Paul says, I want you to hear me so that you become what I am, that's not what he means. What Paul means is the real gospel. For Paul, the good news is something so much more wonderful. What Paul says is when he's telling King Agrippa what Jesus told him to do when he encountered Jesus on the Damascus Road, Paul tells King Agrippa that the good news is actually this. Jesus told Paul, I'm sending you to the Jews and the Gentiles to open their eyes and turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan to God, so that they may receive forgiveness of sins and a place among those who are sanctified by faith in me. What Paul's good news is he's saying, listen, this is what we can have. You have been given. You can receive as a gift, not because of your actions, forgiveness of sins, which means the debt is paid, the brokenness is mended, the charges are dropped, but also that you can receive and be given a gift, which is a place among those who are sanctified in faith. Now, this word, a place, is not just a location. It's not like, hey, you just get a spot in the lineup of all the saints. It's a word that actually is more closely aligned to home. And home, as we all know, is not just the brick and mortar of a place. Instead, home is the place you belong, no matter where you've been or what you've done. It's the place where you feel understood. It's the place where you feel valued and protected and loved, where you can kick off your shoes and lay down on the couch. It's the place where you can let your guard down and rest and be restored. In reality, life is actually ultimately a journey to reconnect with our Heavenly Father in our home, because He is our home for all of us. Home is what God wanted for us from the very beginning. This is how we were created. That's what Eden is all about. See, even from creation, that place was home for us, totally and completely the place where we were known, where we were loved, where we were accepted. But brokenness and death entered in, and whenever that happens, it impacts the entire family. It causes distance between ourselves and our dad and our experience of home. Now, all of us have experienced this, even though you may not be able to put it into words. And you might not even deny that there is God or a Father. You might feel disconnected from Him. But even if we deny it, even if you can't put words to it, there's something at the core of your being that feels like something is missing, that you need to get back to. We all feel that longing for belonging, to be known and to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be welcomed into the heart of things, to be accepted by the Heavenly Father. And this is why, in a very real sense, all of our journeys is a journey to find our way back home. And when we find our way home, it's then that we're brought to life. We're restored, we're redeemed, we're resurrected, because we've been reconnected with the one who brings us life. And for Paul, this is the good news. The good news is that there is a home for all of us. And so when Paul says, I want everyone to become who I am, he's not saying, I want everyone to believe the same thing I believe. I want everyone to do and don't do the same things that I do and don't do. Paul's saying, I want everyone to find a home. I want everyone to come home to God. And this is the good news that Paul offers as his ultimate goal. This is the good news where no matter the circumstance Paul finds himself in, he still finds joy. He still knows that even if he can't go home, he's home. because Paul has found his love and his acceptance by the great high king. So it doesn't matter what Agrippa does. It doesn't matter what riot he's a part of. It doesn't matter how long he stays in prison, because he knows that no matter where he goes, he has a place. He has a home.